Today, we have a very special episode. We are making a recipe that was requested by one of my subscribers, Michael and Kelly Thompson. They requested a French bourride. This is basically a Mediterranean fish stew with aioli. Of course, I'm gonna make a couple changes to the original version and add some Spanish flair to give it a beautiful lift of flavors. Folks, once again, this is what great food is all about. Very easy to make, comes together in about 30 minutes and promises to be one of the best fish stews you will ever taste. We're gonna begin by getting all our ingredients ready. I'm gonna cut 6 baby new potatoes, each one into 4 evenly sized quarters. I've already washed these and patted them dry. And as I'm cutting my ingredients, I like to add them into separate bowls. That way I don't overcrowd the cutting board. For the next ingredient, I'm gonna grab 3 cloves of garlic and finely mince them. Finely dice half of an onion. And cut 2 stalks of celery into pieces that are about 1/4 inch thick. For the final ingredient to prepare, I've got 1 fillet here of cod. This is 390 grams, which is about 14 ounces. I bought mine frozen and thawed it out just to make things easier and cheaper. So important to pat it completely dry with paper towels to remove any of the excess moisture in the fish. That way it's full of flavor and it's got an incredible texture. I'm gonna cut the piece of cod into 4 evenly sized fillets and season them with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. All right, let's start cooking our Mediterranean fish stew. I'm gonna grab a large saute pan, heat it with a medium-high heat, and add in a generous 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. After heating the olive oil for 1 minute, I'm gonna add in the diced onions into the pan, the chopped up celery, and the minced garlic. And start mixing all these ingredients together. Like I always tell you, when you are cooking on a medium-high heat, so important to mix this continuously, that way nothing burns and everything cooks evenly. After about 3 minutes, and those onions are nice and translucent, I'm gonna add in the chopped up potatoes into the pan. 1/4 teaspoon of high quality saffron threads. You'll find a link to the one I'm using from Golden Saffron in the description box below. Season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And I'm gonna mix this all together until all these ingredients are perfectly combined. Once everything's well mixed, I'm gonna add in 1 liter of a good quality fish broth. This equals about 4 1/4 cups. I'm gonna get in there and give it a quick mix. That way everything's evenly divided, and we're gonna continue to cook this on a medium-high heat. Okay, while our fish stew is cooking, let's make our homemade garlic aioli. I'm gonna add in 3 cloves of garlic that I finely minced into a mortar, along with a pinch of sea salt. And pound down on these ingredients with a pestle until you form a paste. Then I'm gonna add in 1 egg yolk at room temperature and half a teaspoon of lemon juice. And I'm gonna start whisking all these ingredients together in a circular motion, and at the same time, start slowly adding in half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. The secret to the perfect aioli, make sure you continue to whisk this in a circular motion while you slowly add in that extra virgin olive oil. Once you've added the half cup of olive oil and you end up with a beautiful thick and creamy mayonnaise-like texture, the garlic aioli is done. Alright, let's move back to our fish stew. It's been exactly 15 minutes since I added the broth into the pan. At this point, those potatoes should be almost perfectly cooked. You can always pull one of them out, pierce it with a toothpick, If it easily goes in, but with some resistance, these potatoes are almost done. The next step, I'm going to add in the fillets of cod into the pan. And we're going to cook this for another 4 to 5 minutes. This is enough time for those potatoes to fully cook through, as well as for those cod fillets to be perfectly cooked. Five minutes after adding the cod fillets into the pan, I'm going to start removing them from the pan using a slotted spoon and transferring them into a dish. Then I'm going to turn off the heat and start plating the dish. The way that you plate this dish is in layers. The first thing we're going to add is a piece of toasted bread into a shallow bowl. Then using a slotted spoon, add in some of the potatoes and vegetables on top of the piece of toast. Add in a couple fillets of the cod on top. Pour in some of the hot broth all over the ingredients. Top it off with a generous portion of the homemade garlic aioli. As you will notice, that aioli is going to drip into the broth, which is going to help thicken it up to give this stew an incredible flavor. And sprinkle it with some freshly chopped parsley. Folks, our Mediterranean fish stew is done. Look how delicious this turned out. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. I seriously cannot wait to try this. So many beautiful flavors here. So good. First things first, those potatoes perfectly cooked through. They kind of just melt in your mouth. That's why you use the baby ones. They cook a lot faster, especially if you cut them in quarters. As for the flavors, that garlic aioli, it's just so good. We use saffron here. Typically, this dish does not have saffron, but the saffron takes it to the next level. One of the best fish stews ever. So easy to make, came together in about 30 minutes. You can enjoy this during the summer next to a bottle of chilled white wine, or even during winter next to a bottle of Spanish red wine. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.